Hi Scorpio, welcome to your monthly scopes. Please keep in mind this is only a general reading. Take what it feels right and with what resonates with your own life experiences at the moment. So, Scorpio, it seems you begin the month of July really trying to get back to your own source of power, to your own source of will, probably because you are really tired or you have been feeling really tired, like you have to constantly uh, push forward to achieve whatever it is you're trying to achieve that requires a lot of your energy, a lot of your passion, and a lot of your ability to move forward and drive in the direction of your desires and what you're trying to accomplish by it. So it seems like you're probably aware the departure card where all this starts in the month is the source card. So there's a clear understanding that you hold inside of you the power to manifest your will, to manifest your desire. So probably there's an awareness that you need to start fresh, that you need to start something completely new from scratch in order to do that. That could be a new relationship, that could be a new project, a new career path, a new acknowledgement of an area of your life where you have been delaying putting all of your will and putting all of your passion into it so it can manifest and become real. And the first step is the acknowledgement that you hold the infinite power of the source that we all have inside of us. So there's an awareness of things you're trying to accomplish. There's an awareness of new beginnings to come in that manifestation of desire. So whatever you're passionate about right now, where you're putting a lot of your attention, a lot of your intention, that can manifest, that can come to you in order for you to acknowledge that this source is infinite. It's the vital energy that pulsates in our bloodstream. So don't the only problem with this is the fear of flying, or the blockage to this source card, to this new beginning you're trying to manifest in your life, is the repression suppression card, which is also a fire card, which is interesting, but it's one where you feel that passion, that desire, that will, that drive is blocked, is repressed, is sustained inside of you, and you have so much going on, such a heavy burden, such responsibilities you put yourself into, such passion, that you don't allow this free flowing spirited energy to come forward and to manifest. So the first step is for you to acknowledge all those places where you have been repressing this fiery, even aggressive sexual masculine energy, where you have been delaying living that free will life, that free will statement of just going in a direction you know it's right for you, even if that means having to face judgment, having to face opposition, having to face doubts. So there's an awareness that more than ever that you have this energy coming to you, and you have two options here. So two different scenarios that can play out with this fiery um, energy. So if you are consciously aware of what you feel and what you have been repressing, it will be easier for you to find the appropriate channel to free this energy of feeling that you have to contain so much of who you are. So if you are into any kind of hobbies, active physical activities, art, whatever it is that drives your passion, put all your energy into, because you're like an ongoing volcano that it's containing much of energy that inside of you, it's explosive and implosive and can bring forward really destructive patterns that you don't want in your life, that you don't want to go through in your life, because what you're trying to do is free yourself and be much more spirited in the way, in the direction of your life, in the direction you're trying to go. So there's this need to release stagnant desires, stagnant emotions, stagnant anger, even anger, stagnant feelings that you have been repressing in order to accomplish a responsibility, in order to accomplish um, this path that can even not be yours. And you have this acknowledgement right now that you are in the finishing line of this situation. So it's time to see the finishing line there. It's time to put closure to it, and it's time to free your energy into channels that can transmute that energy into something good, into something positive and healthy for you. So instead of your unconscious, if you're not aware of this that I'm saying, instead of your unconscious having to attract situations where you'll be faced with the lower energies of fire, of anger, selfishness, fights, conflict, pettiness, aggressiveness. So instead, the bad way of being aggressive, the bad way of using this fire is an ego-centered way. So instead of being so feisty, which will happen if you don't find an appropriate way to release these blockages, um, instead of using something that can be so destructive to you and others in your life, just try to see where is your creative force coming from and where is that creative force trying to lead you on, so you can have a much more healthy, balanced life, in order to feel like you can be your authentic self. You can be who you are, and you can go in whichever direction you want to go, because you're not repressing that desire. You're acknowledging it, and you're seeing that there's so much infinite possibilities in that drive motion that really can take you anywhere you want. So the response to this blockage of repression is comparison. So stop comparing yourself. Stop looking to others as an example to what you should do. Stop trying to fit in into responsibilities, into this burden of other people in your life, of other situations in your life that are really not your responsibility, that are really not your burden to take. It's time to acknowledge which burden is really yours. And if it's yours, it's time to unburden yourself, to find the appropriate channels to do so. But the response is really, this repression is coming from a place of feeling that you have to meet some type of standards, some type some type of equal self-realization, comparing yourself to other people in your life, or comparing yourself to other ideas, other opinions, other anything that really doesn't fit your own source, that really doesn't fit your own truth and who you are and where is your desire. So the response to also unburden yourself is to stop comparing who you are with others. Every single person is singular, so it's unique. It's unique. It has its unique taste, its unique desires, its unique spirit, its unique everything. It's impossible for you to want to compare yourself to someone whose example, whose life path, whose experiences they're supposed to learn are completely different from you. So if you have been struggling with problems of trying to please, trying to take more than you should to meet someone's standards, or to have this idea that you have to be that type of person that you envisioned in regards to other people. Example, find your way to acknowledge that you are unique. You have a unique desire to follow, to embrace, to create, to explore, to determine. So you probably are not even aware where does your desire lies, but it's that quest, is that journey that you're going towards that will bring you those answers, where to start creating, where to start putting seeds of your intentions, and see something growing out of that. But first, you need to unburden yourself so you can get into the source, so you can get into knowing deeply the driving motion of your life. And for that, one tip is to stop comparing yourself to others, stop comparing different standards, different ways of being, because there's no comparison that can have between me and you. It's just we can identify ourselves. You can identify, or I can identify with similar feelings, ideas, life experiences. We can identify, but we should never compare who I am with who you are, and what drives me and what drives you, because that would make the world really gray and dull if every single person was supposed to meet the same type of standards, the same type of idea of realizations and fulfillments and careers and relationship prototypes. We are not supposed to follow. Um, we are supposed to go into the collective, into the mass, into the social, really aware of who we are, so we don't get lost into the crowd of people and we have no identities. The way we have to contribute as unique individuals to society is acknowledging who we are. And when we acknowledge that, yes, we are ready to rise above the ego and go in the direction of social service, social participation and contribution, knowing our unique gifts and talents. And that's a strong message for you this month of July. So acknowledge your talents and your gifts you have to share out there, and stop comparing or judging yourself through the reflection of others. Just that will create an even greater feeling of repression, or not being able to let all hell break loose and just follow your passion. The intuition card is a really strong card because it's inner voice, and it talks exactly about intuition. So the more you tap into yourself, like I was describing earlier, the more you go inwards, the more you listen to what's your true desires, where does your real essence lies, what's the voice, what's the taste, what's the shape of your desires. Your intuition will go really, really high, and your acknowledgement of what you should be doing will as well. So your intuition itself, it's really high, it's really in high levels, but that can come in unconscious awareness, where signs are being signs are being brought to your attention, but you are really not paying attention to it because you are unaware. So don't doubt your intuition this month. You are usually a very intuitive sign, so connect even deeply with that source of knowledge that comes from your gut, that comes from your instinct as well. So there's a lot of awareness coming to you in different channels, from dreams, from signs, synchronicities, people being in the right place at the right time, trying to see, trying to say or make you see something. So acknowledge the patterns that follow you in the month of July, because they are really strong, and they are a real potent fountain of information. So to how you should um, be able to fly in the direction of this new, amazing, passionate new beginning that is coming to you. The response to this intuition is ripeness, and this is talking about, again, acknowledging that you have grown so much. You have matured so much. You are such in a mature stage of your own self, of your own accomplishments, that it's time to, you know, that saying that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So it's time, even though you have your peers of people, you have your environment, you have other people in your life that you truly deeply care for, even though you have all of that, and you may be even too much identified with that, it's time to acknowledge that it's time for your fall, which is actually your rise. It's time to distance yourself, that high identification levels, from other people, comparing yourself with other apples, because even though your skin, your outside may look the same, inside you have those juices, you have that own unique vitamins and minerals that only belong to you, that are only part of your own soul process. So it's time to let go of others. It's time to let go of judgments and expectations of what other people dictate about the way you should go, about the way your desires, that driving motion I was talking about where your passion should go to. You are the only person that has the right and the responsibility to know that. So the intuition, that acknowledgement, that flood of information that can come from your inner sources will bring you that awareness that you are an independent, beautiful soul that has its own journey to follow, and that probably it's time to let that blockages and that prison and that walls crumble down, so you can have a better understanding of yourself, and also about the illusions, the dreams that are only fantasies in your mind, that are still there working in a way that it's enabling you to again go in the direction of that new beginning. I'm saying this because the relaxation and acceptance card is thunder thunderbolt, and as we know, this card, which is associated with the tower, is a card that resonates with forces beyond our control that work to push forward into our awareness, usually from some kind of event that we cannot control or predict, usually one that tends to make clear to our awareness the imbalances and the lies we still hold on to at this present moment. So you need to relax and accept that every single thing, all the challenges and the changes you are being asked upon to make are a release, are an event that it's a catalyst for change, but a change that it's freedom, that represents freedom, that represents truth, that represents the opportunity to put the lies to the ground and begin a solid, strong foundation on your truth self. So you need to accept the changes that may come in the month of July as part of the process of awareness. Your spirituality is through the roof, so take the most of it. Take the harness as possible as you can of your own ability to understand your higher self and your higher consciousness trying to talk to you. So you need to relax and accept that yes, dreams, the new state of awareness you come to is understanding the difference between a real dream, a dream that belongs to your own self nature, and a dream that is a projection of illusions, of lies, of deception, of of a resistance to see what is in front of you because you are holding on to that unrealistic ideal of love, of life, of family, of job and careers, whatever this plays out into, is acknowledging your attachments to illusions, to smoke mirrors. to things you may even be aware that are not real, or uh, they are not coming from a place of truthful desire of yourself, but are instead mirrors of years of longings for deep love, deep commitments, the fairy tale dream, love and life, that it's up to us to have that responsibility to create that life. And that can be harsh because that shatters, again, the dreams, the unrealistic expectations that we all create, especially when we are flooded in a commercial sense with this uh, this idea of the Prince Charming coming to rescue us from whatever it is that's going on in our lives, where we are our own Prince Charming, and we are our own evil stepmothers and witches and whatever. We are both of them, the hero and the villain, and it's time to acknowledge it, as harsh as it can be, because I feel like this process of sharing illusions, it's even harder than the tower itself, because okay, something happens here and it changes everything, and you are lying naked and exposed and vulnerable in the ground, but you still have that dream, you still have that longing, you still know that in the end of sometimes there will be that utopia, there will be that idealism waiting for you. There will be that magic carpet ride going to take you away into beautiful, happy life. And understanding that that's not the way it's going to happen, because if we keep waiting for that magic carpet ride, we will lose all of our lives, and we are not being responsible for it. There's a responsibility that comes into having that dream manifested. So, in order for us to achieve whatever you feel as happiness is, you have to consciously act upon it. We cannot wait for some some ideal to happen just because we want to. We need to implement actions. And for you, I feel, is you your creative energy. If you are already an artist or a creative person, this month can be really, really, really productive if you allow yourself to be. But anyway, the month is all about acknowledging your desires, your passions. Stop comparing yourself to others' standards, to others' experiences in life success. You have to understand what real success means to you, and what you're really trying to accomplish, what you're really trying to gain. And is it coming is it coming from an unrealistic dream or expectation or fantasy or fairy tale, or it's coming from that deep, innate, beautiful power of yourself that can create whatever you're trying to create. But you need to act upon it, and you need to release all the blockage and all the heavy burden on your shoulders, so you can be much more free, and able to go in the direction, just get into the car and drive whatever you're supposed to drive, and arrive. There's some destination waiting for you, and I think if you didn't already see that, it will be more and more evident. You'll feel this agitation, you feel this insatisfaction, and those, if you feel that, those are signs of what I'm saying. Those are signs that you're supposed to move, you're supposed to go somewhere. So go and find it, Scorpio. I wish you a great month. Thank you for listening, liking, and subscribing, and hopefully we'll see each other next month.